Welcome to Radical Underdogs. My name is Will, I'm a privateer racer. This time out we're at Cadwell Park. Pretty much everything that could go wrong did go wrong initially, so I'll take you through that. I think first of all, before we even started the weekend, the tow vehicle broke down on a steep hill. It was towing the vehicle uphill, and suddenly bang, there was water everywhere. So the water pump basically exploded on this Jeep Cherokee. Limped its way in, fortunately without overheating, into Cadwell Park, and you managed to get it recovered home. But there was lots of journeys backwards and forwards to try and recover the car. Thanks to AB Motorsport, who helped us out at the end of the weekend and towed this car home for us. I don't know what we'd have done without that. This weekend also we had a few issues in qualifying, and we're going to go straight to that now. And welcome to Future Will. This is qualifying. As you see with Cadwell Park, it's a very tight, twisty circuit, not very much runoff at all. And we're actually going to skip through, obviously, most of the qualifying session. You're not going to be interested in that. We're going to go straight to sort of the accident sequence, as it were. So, as you can see from the timer, if you can see the clock in front of us, we're sort of over half a second up on this lap. So this is looking to be a really good lap. So it's going to be critical. We get this tight, twisty mountain section right. Braking is right, and we could power down, but lose the back end, catch it, but no runoff, and straight into the tyre barrier. Fortunately, kept the car running, which means we can gingerly try and stay off the circuit here, because obviously we don't really want people coming around this blind corner into our car halfway across the track. And we managed to recover it. And I just want to just briefly show you some of the stuff that goes on in the pit lane here. Adam says it's not looking good, and he tries to manhandle it back into position. I think the marshals come over and offer some advice as well. I think the advice is that let's shut the engine down. We're taking intake pipes that are just loose out of the engine bay. And it's not just the marshals that offer advice, it's fellow competitors and other race teams as well, which is actually really helpful. So there is a red flag at this point. And you've got Kev Bird here explaining to Adam that you need to look at these brackets because they often break, and if you have got Ali Rads, that is often the way. So often we put steel ones in instead, but I hadn't in this case. And actually here AB helping us out actually fix the car, which is great, and they actually got the car out for another couple of laps. You might also notice I'm filming this in my garage retrospectively, and that is because I lost all the footage that I filmed at Cadwell Park, so another thing that went wrong. And we're going to go straight now to race one. And welcome to Future Will again, doing the commentary, and the lights are on, and they are off, and we are away. We're side by side with Graham Rumsey on the start line. We've got 38, Andrew Dean up ahead of us. We're going past him as well. We've got quite a good run. As always, we always have quite good starts actually. Graham is definitely keeping pace with us though. And as you look behind us, I think there's been contact. There's 3 cars into the wall. Not a great start there. I think that was Tim Storer in the mix there. Del Pace and I think one other. Definitely in some cases Graham's going around the outside, and I was just trying to stick to the inside and avoiding any extra contact, and that was probably good. You could see other cars sort of being caught up in that, and there's just streaming past Robert Greensmith in 122 who'd taken to the grass. So we're up several places, and it's not going too bad. Got cars knocking up ahead of us. I think that's number 9, Jamie Turner. He's being forced out wide by Graham. He's just about given enough room, and he's still side by side as we go through Chris Kerr for the first time, and Graham Rumsey has made his way up there into sort of like 10th place, starting alongside me actually, down in sort of 17th, 18th, so that's loads of places. I've got Aaron Dunn-Apala, who's made his way all the way up. He's going down the inside, I've just given him enough room now because I can see he's probably not going to make it past, but it was worth giving him room because taking the racing line there, I could have cut him off and ended up taking myself out there. And as we go down now to the mountain section for the first time, it's a beautiful section of corners. You can see Robert Greensmith battling away with Aaron behind us. He seems to have got past him. And this sequence of corners is really tight and twisty as we make our way through now down into I think one of the tightest and narrowest corners in UK motorsport, I think, if I'm not mistaken, down into the hairpin. He got Jamie Turner on the grass, struggling to get the power down, and now we're right behind him. He's definitely, unfortunately we're getting the power down at the same time, I guess for Jamie. So we're getting the slipstream though. I don't think there's going to be a way down at Coppice. He's going, it's still showing him go defensive anyway, so I'm not going to do that. Got Robert right behind us, so attack, defend. You've kind of, there's cars behind him. There's cars behind him as well, waiting to pounce. You can see he's just trying to find his way past, and actually they are Jamie's wide, and I think this is going to set up. I've now got it in my mind that I'm going to catch down this straight, because he's obviously not going to put the power down on the grass. We're still catching. We're not going to make it by the braking zone, and we're going to outbrake ourselves. He's going to take the and that was, I think, quite clearly an error there. I think there was sort of a you can see there that they're probably will be investigated, but I'm pretty sure there's going to be a penalty applied after the race on that one. Yeah, you can see that I was just struggling to catch down the straight despite Jamie starting that on the grass. So I just thought that maybe there was anyway it was a mistake, so Jamie turned in, taking the racing line as was his right, as the car ahead. We weren't sufficiently alongside, and he had sent him into a spin. So here we are. You can see this damage now to this car. You can kind of see it when you're turning right. So you're turning right in this car now. When I got it back on back to the workshop afterwards, the alignment was quite significantly out on that left-hand side. So you can hear it now. We've got the car hitting the tyres hitting the bodywork there. So you can kind of see it's puffing up tyre smoke as well. We're struggling to control it, and that's just giving Robert can hold him up as long as I can. He's getting a bit of a helping hand as well from Declan McConnell. He's finding his way through in car 43, and then he's going side by side and saying, thank you very much, I'll take that place as well. So Declan making 2 places up there in one straight down the start finish straight there. Sort of a poor second lap there, not only losing time, losing positions, but also knocking Jamie on, spinning him around there. So probably the least good lap of the season. I'm going to skip ahead to lap 4, because I think the field does spread out at Cadwell, despite it being very hectic in the first couple of laps. It does then start to spread out. So the lap times are normally very, very tight together in the championship, but not this time. But actually, you can see behind us that we're definitely getting caught slowly down that start finish straight. That's Chris Thule in the grey car behind us. So Chris has been catching us in those fast sections of corners and fast down that straight as well. You can see actually the car, my car is not pulling away. Maybe we need to do something about the tuning of it, because it's just not getting that power down high in the 4th gear. And also I think Chris is getting a better exit. So we're going to go skip ahead again and see, because I think this kind of tends to be a bit of a pattern for the next few laps. Is that I kind of get away during the tight, twisty corners up at the mountain, and then Chris is much better through this fast sequence of corners. So you can see again, Chris is definitely catching, and I think we get a poor exit out of that corner. I think Chris is definitely taking those corners better, and he's getting the slipstream despite our attempts to sort of not make it that easy to follow down the straight. We're going to go defensive and parking the car straight in the middle of the road, because there's just not going to give him the temptation to throw it down the inside, sort of like I did earlier. So just parking it straight in the middle of the road. There's no way through for Chris at Park. And as we go down the gooseneck, again, not really a classic overtaking place, so as long as we keep it neat and tidy and don't go sort of super slow, we're okay. And again, another right-hander, you can see the car, left-handers are all right. It's the right-handers where the bodywork starts rubbing against the car. So you can kind of see now Chris is kind of falling away a bit behind us as we go into this sort of impressive mountain section again. It's a really lovely bit of track to spectate from. You can see on the left up here, that's where a lot of people will spectate from. That's where you can sort of grab a drink and a snack as well. It's a bit of a thrill to drive, but I have to say, a bit of a car breaker as well. So I think for me, I always prefer driving this on my own than having cars around you racing you. Sometimes the opposite would different circuits, maybe like Silverstone's a bit like that. But this circuit again is not very wide. And the last lap, and the rain has come massively unexpectedly. There was no forecast for this whatsoever. And it's the last lap. I have never driven this circuit in the wet. I've driven this circuit. This is the second time coming here. I've done one test day, one race day, one track evening, and now doing this. So this is the sort of fourth time I've been out on the circuit, really. And this is the first time in the wet. I have no idea where the braking points are in the wet. And is it really wet? It is quite wet. The car's going away. There's a lot of space behind us, but we definitely can't rely on that. So it's just, where is the grip in the wet? I just don't know. So I'm going to try and take some wet lines, what I think are wet lines. Is it even wet enough? It's this sort of this intermediate stage where it's really greasy, it's getting slipperier, is that a word, all the time. And we're going to go around, take the wide lines and miss the apex entirely, trying to look for some grip on the outside. You can see behind us, that's Tim Storer. He's made his way back. You saw him colliding on lap 1 into the wall, so he's made a great comeback. And we're just struggling to control the car. Not only is the alignment completely out, this is the first time I've done the mountain section in the wet ever, and we've got a wounded car as well with the alignment completely out. So all things considered, this is a pretty tricky and stressful lap. So going down now into the heavy, it looks like we've got this covered, but listen, the car is getting worse. And you can see Tim is really confident in these conditions. And I've gone up to 5th gear. I'm just trying to turn in. There's no power because I'm in 5th, not in 3rd. And I just lost the place to Tim. And Tim's just made sort of 10, 15 seconds maybe. I don't know how far that was on that lap, but that was that's the end of the race. And have you forgotten that there was a penalty to be applied? So you can see Jamie's done a good recovery and he's right behind us now, and that penalty will put us behind Jamie, and it gives us our first penalty points on our licence as well, and 9 championship points as well. So quite a severe penalty, but probably fully deserved. Anyway, next time out we'll be in race 2, so catch that again too.